Hello everyone, this is A. Jenny Nirmala, Assistant Professor of English, Shakti College of Arts and Science for Women, Chatram. Today I am going to see about on outline of poetry. Poetry is the expression of the experience of an individual. The experience may be physical, emotional, intellectual or spiritual. The poet chooses not only a form to bring out his experience but also words appropriate to the content, attitude and tone. Poetry can be broadly classified in two classes, subjective poetry and objective poetry. Subjective poetry can also be called personal poetry, in which the poet portrays himself and expresses his own self. On the other hand, objective poetry is impersonal and can be called the poetry of representation or creation. The poet goes out of himself and finds his inspiration and his subjects in the actions and passions of the world. Many poets have given some definitions of poetry. Dr. Johnson calls poetry a metrical composition, and he points out four elements of poetry: pleasure, truth, imagination and reason. Shelley defined it as the expression of imagination. Coleridge thought poetry was the antithesis of science, and Wordsworth defined it as the breadth and finer spirit of all knowledge. According to Arnold, poetry is simply the most delightful and perfect form of utterance that human words can reach. Edgar Allan Poe calls it the rhythmic creation of beauty. T.S. Eliot calls poetry the vehicle of feeling and insists that poetry has to give pleasure. There are many poetical types. They are the lyric, the ode, the sonnet, the elegy, the idyll, epic, the ballad and the satire. First one is, what is meant by lyric? A short poem that expresses the personal thoughts and feelings of the person who wrote it, that is called lyric. Ode, a poem expressing the writer's thoughts and feelings about a particular person or subject, usually written to that person or subject. Next one is the sonnet. A sonnet is a type of 14 lines, usually iambic pentameter, that expresses a thought or idea and utilizes an established rhyme scheme. As a poetic form, the sonnet was developed by an early 13th century Italian poet, Giacomo da Lentini. Next one is elegy. An elegy is a poem of serious reflection, especially one mourning the loss of someone who died. Elegies are defined by their subject matter and do not have to follow any specific format, terms of meter, rhyme or structure. Next one is idyll. An idyll poem is a short poem that creates a story and paints a picture of everyday life, which making things that at first seem simple much more important. Next one is the epic. An epic poem is a long narrative poem that is usually about heroic deeds and events that are significant to the culture of the poet. Next one is ballad. A ballad is a type of poem that tells a story and was traditionally set to music. English language ballads are typically composed of 4-line stanzas that follow on ABCB rhyme scheme. The ballad is one of the oldest poetic forms in English. The last one is satire. Satire is a literary device. Satire is the use of humor, irony, sarcasm and ridicule to criticize something or someone. I hope you understand on outline of poetry. Thank you.